Everyone, I'm Barb Roberts, your host of Park Bench, and I'm here today with Glenda Caton with Caton Consulting LLC. Thank you, Glenda, for coming out here on this rainy, yucky day. So tell us a little bit about your consulting business.
Okay. Well, so Caton Consulting LLC started a little less than a year ago, and it kind of got birthed out of an offer to do some training for a nonprofit that I was volunteering at and things like that. So I started doing that, and I've always felt kind of an unsettledness about working for someone else, but didn't want to take the leap to be out on my own because that's scary.
It is scary.
And so I thought, you know what, I do HR. I love the HR thing. I love everything about HR compliance, the employee relations, the team building, wellness, all of that. And I just fell into it. Haven't been doing HR as long as some of my colleagues, but they call me for advice, and things like that. So I think I just fell into my niche.
It was just a natural progression,
yes,
really.
Yes.
So what types of consulting do you do? If I were to come to you, what would I be asking you to do? Is it training? Is it helping to set up new HR departments? What is it?
All of it. What do you want? My background.
But it's all HR related.
All HR related,
Okay.
And hospitality related. So my background is actually hospitality operations, food and beverage.
Okay.
So I was with the Capitol Hotel and was the training manager when they converted from Ashley's to 111.
Okay.
And I wrote training manuals for them and things like that. So that and being a Hilton corporate trainer, and so that's really my background, and that's what I loved. And it was about 6 years ago I decided to go back to school and get my HR degree. So when I looked around, I kind of had a thing. I was in an HR meeting a couple of months ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these people that have been doing this for 30 years. What do I have to offer? There are HR consultants everywhere. But then I realized all those people, the 80 that were in that room, none of them specialize in hospitality and food and beverage. So I was like, that's kind of what I feel is my niche. But I'm fixing to do some leadership training. I do staffing. I do recruiting. I'm in the midst of setting up my second HR department from the ground up, so I can do all of the
new
compliance.
Business or an established business that just needs their HR looked at again to see how it can be fine-tuned or made better.
Yes, so I can come in and do audits like I were the DOL or EOC or I-9 audits. I could come in and do all of those, because sometimes it's like you walk into your office every day, you see the same thing. You may not notice something that somebody on the outside looking in, which will save so much money and fines, as well as opening doors to much bigger things, because when one thing is found by any of those agencies, they don't stop. They keep going and digging, and they will find something no matter how good. So it's always good to have an outside source come in. I also am working with another lady who does workers' comp, ADA, FMLA management as an outsource. So if your company has the HR function that deals with the payroll and things like that, but they don't want to have to deal with workers' comp and ADA and FMLA, because it kind of gives an extra layer of protection if it's not personal. Because if you and I work together really closely every day, and you have an ADA claim, or you could have a possible need an accommodation, well, I can come in and look at it in a black and white sense, because I don't know you. Now, there's still going to be a level of compassion there, because you're human, but I can stick to what are the regulations, what are the laws, what are your rights and responsibilities, what is the employer's rights and responsibilities, and guide through that. I've written a few handbooks. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's a lot, really.
Yeah. So all pieces, all areas. I just wrote another training program for a lady I'm under contract with, and so basically her niche is staffing the hospitality industry in Central Arkansas with trained professionals, because you go to a big banquet and you're like, okay, this person can only be here because they were breathing. Like, they don't know how to serve, they don't know the proper techniques and mannerisms, soft skills. They don't have the hard skills either, and so I've developed a training program so that all temps and all people that we place out into the field, and it's dedicated to Central Arkansas right now and dedicated to restaurants. I don't know if I can say her clients' names or not, but it's a bunch of the big, prominent, fun ones that we've been seeing pop up, as well as, and I know Capitol Hotel because I work with them very closely, so we can say that one is a client of ours. And the whole goal is we want to send you trained people, whether it's
so
temporary,
you have a good event.
Yeah, full service, full time, whatever it is you want, we can fill that niche.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a website?
I do not. I'm actually working on that right now. So I am just operating through my email at this point.
Okay. And I'll have all that at the bottom so that if you want to contact Glenda, you can do that. I'll have her phone number and her email address. And then just for fun, I have this little pedal bag, and it has a this is just a fun question to get to know Glenda a little bit better.
Okay.
These were all
Should I be
written by my
scared?
daughter, but I've reviewed them all. No,
Just to make
you
sure.
do not have to be scared.
Make sure they were HR.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? I would probably live. Australia has always intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to live there, but I would also live in Southern California. I want to be where it is.
It's warm
all the time.
and sunny all the time,
Yeah.
especially on a day like today. You could probably, this is gray and yucky, you could be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Glenda. I really appreciate your time. And if you have any questions for her, I'll have all her contact for you. Thanks again.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Thanks.